was Running After You.
Yeah, featuring Nonso Amadi.
But one would have thought by now you will be done with the running after.
Well, actually, that's, you know, I released a playlist last year called Songs About You. So if you notice, all of the song titles have you in them. So Love You, Baby, Running After You, What You Doing Tonight. So it was one of those songs. But the video is coming out. Well, actually, we're shooting the video on Thursday.
Yes.
By God's grace.
By God's grace. Like the way I love saying by God's grace this day.
But it's by God's grace.
Everything, no, yes.
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
So since it's brunch or lunch, I have some lunch-related questions for you.
Talk to me, hit me.
One food you would never cut out, even if you're on a diet, is chicken.
Chicken, unquestionably.
Well, you're lucky because a lot of people say proteins are great for you, right?
Yes, that's what they say. And even if proteins were bad, I still would never cut out chicken.
Okay,
I'm very much like a stereotypical African man that likes his chicken. Yeah, that's me.
Wait,
that's me.
But are you able to eat your chicken while you're eating your rice? Or are you like the rest of us Africans that wait to finish their rice before they eat their chicken?
So when I was young, right? when I was young and coming up, you know how you like save the drumstick for the very end of the meal and all of that, and then you'll be sitting at the table, and then if your father takes the drumstick first, so now I try to ensure that by the grace of God, and thankfully I'm able to eat the chicken with the rice, and the chicken does not finish before the rice finishes. Everything goes down together.
I have to admit, I'm still a bit like, it's still conditioned in me.
Is it?
To like finish I always feel naughty. It's just like how I force myself to stay up just because I remember times my parents made me to go to bed. It's the silliest thing.
In fact, I used my childhood as motivation that now I will eat as much chicken as I like. And if it's only drumstick I want, thank God my father is not here to take the drumstick before I sit down at my own table. So, yeah.
Okay.
I go in with my chicken.
This next question, the answer has to be PG 100, please, Banky.
PG 100?
Yes.
That's no problem. I'm usually a PG 100 type of guy. It was a mistake.
What is the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
Oh, you know what the weirdest thing I've ever eaten is? I went to Kenya, I think for a show or something, some years ago, and I went to this restaurant called the Carnivore. And the Carnivore restaurant is the same way like you have like the Brazilian steak where they keep bringing all kinds of meat. Except back then they would bring out all kinds of game. So it would be, they would start with chicken and sausage and meat and goat meat, and then they would go to zebra and deer
to deceive you,
and alligator. Like no, they'll tell you what they're bringing, so that it's called the Carnivore, so you try different types of meat. Now I think because of some animals going extinct, they've scaled back on the animals that they make available, but at the time I tried all kinds of weird meats. It was very interesting.
I wonder if I would eat a leopard one of these days, but let's see how it goes.
Hey, you never know.
I know you're Chef W, so what is that one meal that even if they wake you up at 2 a.m., you can cook it, no mistakes, it will be delicious?
I think the easiest thing to do that is pasta. Pasta with shrimp and chicken, Alfredo, you know, all that stuff.
Please, I have a question. Why you say pasta? You know there's simple pasta and then there's noodles.
No, please, we're not talking about noodles.
Okay,
we're talking about pasta, penne pasta.
Okay, yeah, that's because okay, alright. And since you can do everything, will there be a Wellington restaurant one day?
It won't be called Wellington Restaurant, but I do have very active plans of putting together a restaurant. It's going to start with an online service, I think.
Okay.
So we're putting together the plans for that now, and then hopefully within a year to max a year and a half, you'll see the restaurant.
Someone actually has a question for you about Pomo.
I hate Pomo. So if it's anything related, let me just tell you my answer.
Actually just wanted to know your views of Pomo.
I hate Pomo. I'm not a Pomo fan.
Well, since you hate Pomo, our challenge today will be for you to sing a song. Yes.
But my gosh.
Banky, have you forgotten?
I thought it was
new show, new behavior.
You know,
you still have to give me a proverb.
New friends.
In Yoruba.
That's not going to happen. You know, Banky. It never happens. Okay, thank God Gabriel is here.
Mr. G.
As I normally do.
Mr. G. I know Banky has a proverb ready.
Responsibility. So you have to give a Yoruba proverb. So please. Now? Right now? Or are you going to give me a second?
No, first you have to do this. You have to sing a line with Pomo in it. Just impromptu.
Oh boy.
Since you hate Pomo so much. Laugh with me. Okay.
Pomo, no they chop no Pomo. No they chop no Pomo.
Banky,
only beef, yeah. I don't know, does that count?
Look, it's excellent.
Right, cool.
Okay, yeah, I have to check it.
Thank you.
Banky, I think you and Tiwa Savage are the two people that make everything sound tush. No matter.
Yeah. You know who I learned that from? Though? R. Kelly, because R. Kelly used to sing the most ignorant things. But then once you put sweet harmony and ad-lib, all of a sudden you just be saying some ignorant stuff. So, once you make it sound nice enough, you can get away with almost everything.
Well, I think Banky's Fama song is going to be trending like everywhere. Everybody.
I hope not, to be honest with you. I'm okay with trending the normal music.
I know like Fama.
Listen.
It was catchy.
It's your show. Go for it.
But it was catchy. Okay, yeah. Mr. G, are you ready with his proverb?
Yes.
Since you're paying his
step
debts.
Right
okay.
up, step right up.
Can even use that microphone?
Use that one.
If I know which one it is. Okay, yes I do, yay! Banky, aren't you impressed with me? Like,
you look like you know what you're doing.
Do you get?
I'm actually shocked.
It's fake actually. Like, I only know
Somebody's
two
really
buttons.
pushing, you're just the face of the franchise. They're really pushing the buttons in the back.
I only know 2 buttons. Okay, alright, fantastic.
What's my Yoruba proverb? Go ahead.
Pretend it's Banky's voice. Let's go.
Whoa. Actually,
that proverb.
I was impressed with the way he changed the tone of his voice. That was pretty cool.
Nice. So, in fact, I like that. But so, Banky, tell us what the proverb means.
Give it over to you. What does the proverb mean?
It means when you beat my child without my consent, the way I wouldn't have. I might just look at it like okay, but I'm not really.
It's not.
I'm not really pleased with it.
That's an interesting choice of proverb. What inspired this train of thought?
Banky, do you think it's a subliminal?
I'm just wondering where. Like that's what I'm trying to investigate on the fly.
So I love to talk about music.
Okay.
But you do know that I will not be forgiving if I don't throw in 1 or 2 wedding and relationship questions in there.
Here we
so
go.
I promise I'll be gentle.
Please.
Okay, so the first one is I saw the whole. If I was given a choice, I wouldn't have like such a big wedding.
Right.
I would rather have like an intimate one. Blah, blah. So let's have that conversation now.
Okay. What do you want? You want
Yeah,
to expatiate on
I mean, because for a lot of people, it felt like you did have like a big wedding. There's even a show of it, yeah. Right. But at the same time, you seem to gravitate towards telling people like an intimate wedding is better. So do you want to maybe clarify? Or
so
just
here's
say
what
I'll
say. I think people took me to task a little bit because I had tweeted about it before, saying that I prefer kind of smaller, intimate weddings and things of that nature. So people took me to task saying, you said you like small weddings and then your wedding was so huge and all of that. And I'll say this, first of all, and this is what I said online, which is you learn very quickly that you're not just marrying a person, you're marrying a family. And not just what that person's family wants, but also what your family members want ends up being kind of what is priority on the day. So you might have this plan that, okay, me and you are just going to dip out to Lagos with 10 of our friends, and that's going to be it. Not that that was our plan, because it wasn't. But, you kind of have to take into account what the people you love and the people you care about want. And so in doing that, it ended up being, more than just a nice little destination ceremony for a handful of people. It ended up being bigger than probably what either of us wanted. But at the end of the day, you find that your happiness is also tied to the happiness of the people that are making these requests. So as long as you find somewhere in the middle that satisfies, you're never going to please everybody. But if you satisfy enough of what everybody wants and just find a way to craft it around your own happiness as well, everybody will be okay. And at the end of the day, it's just one day. So if you have to sacrifice a little bit for that day or for those days, you know that you have the rest of your life to do whatever you want. In terms of doing the show, that was really more just controlling the narrative. Because if you recall, I think it's just a smart thing to stay as much as you can in control of your image and the narrative and just what is said and how it's said and how you want people to see you and how people kind of talk about you. And and so for us it was like, well, the wedding is already going to be everywhere, right? Because the intro, which was supposed to be a handful of people thought that at the intro we had our wedding ceremony because of how much it kind of got out. So we just said, okay, instead of just letting different versions and different stories and all kinds of broadcasts going out, let's tell the story the way that it's true, the way that it's true to us, and also for the purpose of our children coming down the line by the grace of God. Whenever that happens,
Amen.
You know, at least they have
Quintuplets. Baba God, do it for us.
Wow.
Father Lord.
We're just gonna have a prayer session.
Oh, sorry, I thought we.
But that was it in a nutshell. That's my answer.
All right, and are you and Adeso going to make more movies together? Or
Yes, we will, but we don't want it to be a clutch. So we don't want it to be like every time you see her, you see me, and it's the same love story in different, fashions. So we will definitely make more movies together, but in different ways. I mean, sometimes we'll start together, sometimes I'll direct, she'll act. Sometimes we may be in the same movie, but we may or may not be love interests. So it's just about doing the right projects, right? So even with music, I always would say, when people ask me, oh, when are you going to do a song with this person? I say when the song is right. So we let the music or the art dictate what we do. So the same thing with the movies. When we have the right scripts that both of us should do, or that I should direct and she should act, or whatever the case may be, then we'll do those projects.
When it comes to Banky the actor, what role do you think you will find extremely challenging?
I'm not sure what I would find extremely challenging. I think I look for challenging roles regardless. But I would say that I'm hoping that people open their minds to more than just Dozier in the wedding party. Who's like the lover boy, who's a little successful and is looking for love or finds love and is trying to keep it together, which is nice, and that was fun, and that's a good role. But maybe an assassin, maybe let's think outside the box a little bit. The problem with filmmakers sometimes is when they see something that works, everybody wants to replicate the same thing.
Yeah.
But I'm glad about the film industry because I think it's opening up and more creative people are getting into it. So in fact, right now I'm reading a script for, I don't even want to talk about it so much, but it sounds so brilliant, and it's like totally from left field, and that's what I'm looking for.
All right, fantastic. And there's a segment on this show called the 2 Kobo Show. It's like giving your 2 cents on something.
And I'm writing a script as well, and I'm almost done.
Did I not say that it's easier to say things you don't do?
Yes, sorry. I want to make sure I plug my own project.
Okay, so Banky is writing a script.
Yeah. I'm almost done.
Hi, Banky.
Yeah.
Hi.
I'm good.
You say you're writing a script.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hey.
What's up? I'm usually free before 2 and after 6. Hi,
Noted.
Banky.
Noted.
Hello, Banky. And then weekend.
Noted. Gabriel, write it down in the notes.
Mr. G.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you see all your songs that are on the system now.